I'm Saul Reisman here at Saul's Autotek, and today we're in front of this V6 Honda Accord that's getting a head gasket replacement to show you a few of the things that we do that make our service just one step above. Now typically, if you have a vehicle that overheats and creates a head gasket failure, your mechanic is going to want to replace that gasket, get it resealed, get you back on the road. Here at Saul's Autotek, we like to take every step we can to make sure that repair lasts as long as possible and that you get the best quality of service for the price of the repair going into it. So in the case of this vehicle, we're going to remove the cylinder heads. We're then going to send them out to a machinist who's going to put a laser across them and measure them to a 10,000th of an inch to make sure they are perfectly straight, true, and flat across. We do this for your sake because when an engine gets hot, it can actually warp the metals inside the engine if it gets too hot. As a result, it's possible that you could get a head gasket replacement performed and have the repair only last a few thousand miles because even though the gasket is thick enough to make up for the distance of that warpage of the cylinder heads themselves, eventually they will find that pressure, they will leak out. So here at Saul's Autotek, we replace the head gasket and we machine the cylinder head every single time. We also go one step further and we put a laser straight edge across the top of the engine block itself to ensure that the block itself has not warped. Now, the cylinder heads typically weigh anywhere from 20 to 50 pounds apiece. Relatively heavy, but easy to warp because they don't hold a lot of heat. The block itself weighs hundreds of pounds. Typically, the block itself will not warp. However, we check it every time because we want to keep your longevity in mind. That cylinder head, when it attaches to the vehicle, is actually held in place with bolts that are approximately 8 inches long that go down into the cylinder head itself. Now, when these bolts go in, they are torqued in a very specific pattern. We don't just put them in a circle. We make a crisscross pattern specified by the manufacturer of the vehicle to ensure the proper clamping force as those studs actually elongate and stretch the threads that allow them to adhere and create that squeeze tension onto that gasket. The downside of this is those head bolts are non-reusable. They will actually become elongated and stretched with every use. So here at Saul's Autotek, if your cylinder head's coming off, we're going to replace those bolts as one more peace of mind guarantee that we know for a fact it's going to go back together perfectly. Now the last piece we're going to talk about with this vehicle today is actually a piece of tooling. Because while we always show you the things we do to make the car better for you, we want you to know that we do things that make it better for our technicians and our staff to provide them the best working environment for your vehicle so that you get the best quality product and the best result every time. In the case of this Honda, we're going to look at one simple socket. Now, a socket in and of itself doesn't seem like anything too crazy. It's got a 19 millimeter hex head opening, so it fits a 19 mil bolt, and it has a 1/2 inch drive for where a wrench or an impact can be used on it. One thing you will notice though is that the cylinder wall of this is extremely thick. This socket weighs almost 10 pounds. Now the reason for this is the only way to remove the crankshaft harmonic damper from the front of the engine is to keep the engine from rotating and then apply a breakaway force to it. Well, the engine will rotate and spin freely with ease. So finding a way to hold that engine stopped and break that free is very difficult. There's a few aftermarket companies that make an L-shaped tool that sits onto the front of the harmonic damper that uses a wedge and wedge it against the frame of the car and then pry against it to break it loose. While that does in fact work and get it to be removed from the vehicle, that can damage the harmonic damper, puts a tremendous amount of leverage and strain on the crankshaft, the center core of your engine, and means somebody's using a pry bar against the frame of your car. I don't like these things. That's why here at Saul's Autotek, we buy factory-specific tools so that we can do factory-maintained repairs on your car. So whether it's a Honda and we need a Honda-specific tool to have the right socket that has a specific weight to it so it creates a rotational breakaway torque to remove that from your engine, or if you've got a BMW, a Jaguar, maybe even a Ferrari, we carry all factory-specified tools directly from the manufacturers so that we can ensure you get the best quality service no matter what. Not only are we going to make sure your car leaves perfect, but we're going to give our technicians the opportunity to do it with the best quality parts, the best quality tools, and the best quality environment here at Saul's Autotek. We're here 365 days a year to help you and keep your vehicle on the road. Come and see us down here at Arapahoe and I-25 in South Denver, 303-290-9900. It's the little things in life.